Chapter 31 Expository Writing Informative and Explanatory Text. Expository writing is writing text that informs, describes, and explains. There are two main types. 1. Informative writing. Conveys information is writing that tells you about something. If you know a lot about birds, stars, baseball, or anything else, and you'd like to share that knowledge with others, you want to do some informative writing. 2. Explanatory writing offers explanation. It's writing that answers a question like, how does this thing work? Why is that thing like that? If you want to explain why the sky is blue, or how to fix a bike, or why Friday is called Friday, you will do some explanatory writing. Organization. There are many ways to organize informative or explanatory writing. Some common strategies include definition. Define and thoroughly describe your subject, giving details that help the reader understand what it is. Example, an essay defining the life cycle. Classification. Explain how your subject relates to other subjects. Help the reader understand where it fits into the broader scheme of things. Example, an encyclopedia entry explaining how one species of seagull relates to all other seagulls around the world. Comparison, contrast. Describe the similarity and the differences between two subjects. Example, a history book that compares the way two different presidents lead the country during a time of economic pressure, describing how they faced similar circumstances but responded to them differently. Cause effect. Focus on the causes behind events and their consequences. Example, a speech that let kids know that if they begin to save small sums of money now, the interest on your saving will grow over time and provide them with more freedom when they get older. Once you have your overall structure, you can help get your point across by using other elements of organization such as formatting, headers, or section title that let people know where they are and what's coming next. This is your header. Organization. Graphics. Chart and table that show informative visually or can display information that supports the text. Example, last 2 decades of alcohol, cigarette, and illicit drug use. Alcohol, cigarette, illicit drugs. Alcohol. Grades. Cigarette. Grades. Multimedia. Depending on what you are writing, you may be able to include audio or video to help illustrate a point. Example, if you are writing a blog post on medicinal plants found in Amazon, you may want to link to a video of a shaman discussing the power of plant from the rainforest. Introducing the topic. Informative writing, an introduction, is like a preview of what you will explain or describe. It gives the reader a glimpse of what's going to come next. Example, people have been staring up at the moon, making guesses about what it must be like up there for centuries. but it's only in the past few decades the astronomers and astronauts have begun to find a solid scientific answer to that question. Developing the topic. After the introduction, the topic is developed with relevant fact and piece of information that directly relate to the topic. Example. Relevant. Astronauts were surprised to find out that because of the lack of atmosphere, shadows on the moon are much darker than they are on Earth. Not relevant. Everyone from poet to pop stars has written about what it might be like to spend time on the moon. The most common ways of developing an informative or explanatory text is to include definition, detail, quotes, examples. When you include definition, details, or example, it also helps to precisely describe the nature of the subject discussed. Imprecise examples. A moonquake is a shaking pit experienced by the moon. Adding detail can offer additional relevant information, break down tricky concepts into more manageable chunks, or expand the reader's understanding of a point. Precise example. There are 4 kinds of moonquakes: those caused by meteor impact, those caused by the heat of the sun, deep ones caused by tides, and those caused by shallow internal geological shift. Quotes which report direct speech or language written by other writers can add a first-hand account, build on information given, and offer a second verification of fact. Example. Shallow moonquakes can cause a lot of motion on the surface of the moon and a lot of noise. According to Professor Clive Neal, who studied the data from the original Apollo moon landing, during some moonquakes, the moon was ringing like a bell. Examples can offer an illustration of the topic under discussion. Example, lunar dust, which is very fine and very rough, is a big threat to astronauts on the moon. For instance, it can scratch vision so badly that astronauts can barely see through them. Lunar dust has been known to almost completely disintegrate the moon boots. Making a conclusion. An informative or explanatory writing conclusion statement summarizes the information that was presented. However, you should not simply repeat exactly what you wrote previously. You should find a new way to restate the information that brings it all together and highlight the most important point. Example, poets and pop stars might have thought there would be no need to dream about the moon after an astronaut brought back report from the surface. But with super dark shadows, moonquakes, and strange lunar dust, there's even more to dream about than ever before. Conclusion can also invite the reader to get involved in the topic, like at the end of a possessive piece of argument. They can suggest further steps to learn more too, such as in informative text. Use just the right word. Traditional phrase and signal word. You can use all the traditional phrase and signal words you use in writing argument to write informative and explanatory text too. But instead of their job being to transition between claim, reason, and evidence, they will show the relationship between idea and information. Domain-specific vocabulary. Domain-specific vocabulary are words that are used for a particular topic. Certain professionals and groups use special vocabulary, which are called jargon. Doctors use medical jargon. Lawyers use legal jargon. Engineers, computer programmers use technical jargon. If you write about a word, then use jargon. You can use their domain-specific vocabulary. However, be careful with jargon. Your audience may not know domain-specific words. If the vocabulary is not common knowledge, explain the words or phrases meaning. Example: the carnival workers would sometimes enjoy an abadaba carnival lingo for dessert cooked up in the carnival cookhouse before going to bed. Example: when a lawyer says he's going to execute a document, it doesn't mean that anyone needs to fear for his or her life. In legal jargon, the execute something means to sign something, complete a task, and carry out an argument.